Hi guys, Harbs Narbs here. Today we're going to be taking a look at what Minsc, the slightly brain-addled ranger from Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, has been up to since the end of the Throne of Baal. There will be spoilers in this for the original two games and from comic books written about Minsc. Okay, let's go. First off, let's recap what the epilogue of Throne of Baal said about Minsc. With the saga of the Ballspawn closed, Minsc fulfilled a long-promised oath. He returned to Rashomon, hoping to regale the Ice Dragon Berserker Lodge with the tales of his deeds, and earn a place within its hallowed halls. His words were not needed. Every tavern in Faerûn had a bard singing of the valiant ranger, and he was welcomed as a hero. Eventually, he formed his own adventuring company, the Justice Fist, striking fear in the hearts and faces of evil until in his advancing age he again set out across the realms and disappeared. And what of Boo? Well, what is Minsc without Boo? The two would never be separated, and some say they are together still, up amongst the stars where hamsters are giants and men become legends. I suppose you could say that this was the perfect way to end the character arc of one of Baldur's Gate's most cherished characters, but alas, it was not to be so, and Wizards of the Coast have insisted on keeping him around by any means necessary. I mean, what could possibly go wrong by taking a character rooted in nostalgia and trying to rewrite them for a contemporary audience?
I said to Ryan, I'm so surprised how you see Luke.
Now, I know that I might upset some people by saying that maybe they should have just left Minsc alone, but it's only my opinion. I do understand why people want to see him back. There might be some key words in that little epilogue that you don't recognise, so let's just quickly go over them. Rashomon is the land which Minsc originally hailed from, and it is situated here in the northeast of Faerûn. The Ice Dragon Berserker Lodge was one of the bases of the Berserkers of Rashomon, and the Berserkers acted as defenders of Rashomon, and were extremely fearsome warriors. One must complete something called a Dojima, and this is what Minsc was taking part in during Baldur's Gate 1. So Minsc is not currently up amongst the stars with Boo. He is very much alive, but what has he been up to since the original Baldur's Gate franchise? Well, there isn't an awful lot about Minsc's immediate time after Throne of Baal, but we can see in Descent into Avernus the following that is written. For years, the Wide hosted one of the city's most cherished landmarks, the beloved Ranger, a statue of a powerful warrior in plate mail, wearing a cheerful grin and cradling a hamster in his hands. Recently though, the statue was revealed to be the Rashomon hero, Minsc, and his miniature giant space hamster companion, Boo, trapped under the effects of petrifying magic. When the magic was dispelled, it freed the heroes to walk the world once more, but robbed the Wide of a bit of its charm. The merchants complained loudly, and a replacement statue of Minsc and Boo was promptly commissioned and set atop the pedestal where the actual heroes stood for years. This statue actually appeared in the city of Baldur's Gate around the year 1409 DR, so that is about 83 years before the events of Baldur's Gate 3. How the Ranger was petrified, we don't know, but it wasn't until the year 1480 when he was finally freed. In the comic book Legends of Baldur's Gate, the wild mage Delina accidentally hit the statue with her magic and unpetrified Minsc. In fact, it is one scene with Delina that confirms at least one of the Enhanced Edition companions, Nera, was canon, as Minsc accidentally refers to Delina as Nera. The only other person that recognised Minsc in the city of Baldur's Gate was the elf Corran, who was still alive due to his elvenhood, and in fact, even Corran is surprised to see Minsc. How indeed. Minsc and other adventurers from the city of Baldur's Gate end up battling the cult of the dragon and defeat a red dragon that was causing chaos in the city. There is even Ulder Ravengard in this comic, who, if you'll remember correctly, is the duke that is kidnapped from Joaquin's Rest in Baldur's Gate 3 and also features prominently near the start of Descent into Avernus. After this, Minsc and his companions, who were now known as the Heroes of Baldur's Gate and included Crydal, Corran's son, Delina and Shandy, defended a temple of Kalemvor from a group of werewolves who wanted a magical amulet from the realm of Barovia. The name of this comic book is called Shadows of the Vampire. The werewolves wanted the magical amulet for themselves and kidnapped a Kalemvor priestess called Nerys. When Minsc and his companions rescued Nerys, they accidentally transported themselves to Barovia with the werewolves, where they were eventually confronted by Strahd von Zarovich, who attempted to take back the mysterious amulet. He even seems to think that it might free him from Barovia. As it transpires, the amulet used to belong to Tatiana, a woman who used to be married to Strahd's brother, Sergei, before Strahd had him killed, as he was in love with Tatiana himself. In order to facilitate the murder, Strahd had made a deal with beings from the Shadowfell. However, the deal inadvertently caused the death of Tatiana and turned Strahd into a vampire, plunging his realm of Barovia into the Shadowfell and trapping Strahd inside forevermore. The heroes of Baldur's Gate managed to escape from Barovia with the amulet, and it also returned them to the material plane. But they were plunged into an icy wilderness called the Spine of the World, which is a mountain range stretching from the western edge of Faerun to the eastern tip of Coldwood. After arriving in the harsh wilderness, the group is attacked by ogres, but they are saved by Sarvin, a dragonborn. This comic book, entitled Frost Giant's Fury, is set around the time when Storm King's Thunder, the 5th edition adventure, takes place, and therefore the giant ordning has been broken. This is a ranking system of giants created by Anam the Allfather, god of all giants, which usually has storm giants at the top. The ordning being broken gave giants the opportunity to try to climb to the top of the ordning. In this comic, a frost giant called Lord Gritmort planned to overthrow Jarl Storvold of the Frost Giants. Gritmort had in his possession an Orb of Dragonkind, which Gritmort planned to use to summon and control a host of evil dragons and conquer the north. The group managed to take back the Orb of Dragonkind and free the white dragon Nylanth, who was under the control of Gritmort. Once Nylanth was free, the dragon attacked and killed Gritmort, therefore ending the Frost Giant plot. Oh, and somewhere along the way, Boo drank a potion of growth. Look, that's a gigantic hamster riding a dragon. It isn't exactly clear what year the ordning was broken, but it is assumed that it is supposed to be after the year of Iron Dwarf's vengeance, which was in 1485 DR. The comic ends with Nerys, the cleric of Kalimdor from Shadows of the Vampire, realizing that she has acquired lycanthropy, and she begins to transform into a werewolf. The next set of comic books are called Evil at Baldur's Gate and actually follow some individual storylines of the heroes of Baldur's Gate. The first focuses on Minsc, who has now returned to Baldur's Gate but gets embroiled in a conflict with an Oni, which is a violent spirit creature that likes to eat humanoids. The Oni acts as a hero to the locals and calls himself Krigar the Courageous. However, he uses his position as a hero to eat the criminal victims that he kills, until Minsc impales the evil spirit on his sword, of course. However, the Oni is not truly gone, and Minsc even references the fact that he has a new arch enemy. If Minsc is in Baldur's Gate 3, then perhaps Krigar the Courageous could also make an appearance. Minsc also appears in the 4th comic book, where Nerys' lycanthropy manifests and she transformed into a werewolf. Through a ritual performed with the priest of Kalimdor and the moon, they managed to banish the lycanthropy from her. In the final comic book, it focuses on a story of Boo dispatching a bunch of would-be assassins who are looking for the heroes of Baldur's Gate. Yes, Boo manages to capture all of these assassins in the middle of the night, whilst the rest of the group are sleeping. Kreidel sums up the adventure perfectly. Weird, right. Finally, we have Minsc's adventures in Avernus, and this does show the canonical ending of Descent into Avernus, so if you are involved in that adventure, then don't watch the rest of the video. The heroes of Baldur's Gate come into contact with Aubrey and Alster Lucent, who are in possession of an infernal puzzle box. They arrive in Baldur's Gate whilst being hunted by a Hell Knight of Zariel called Haruman. Minsc and the other heroes assist Aubrey and Alster, but Alster is taken by Haruman, leaving his daughter Aubrey in possession of the infernal puzzle box and in the company of the heroes of Baldur's Gate. Alster was actually a Hell Rider and a follower of Torm. Eventually, the group make their way to Candlekeep, where they speak with Silvira Savakis, who reveals that the contents of the puzzle box is the deal that Thavius Krieg, High Overseer of Elturel, signed with the Archdevil Zariel in order to forfeit the city to her. The group are magically dragged to Elturel, which is in the process of falling into hell, and Minsc and his fellow companions become embroiled in the Blood War, in the midst of a huge battle taking place upon Avernus. Having been separated from the others, Minsc and Nerys team up with the Blood Rovers, a band of monstrous adventurers who traverse the hells looking for soul coins. Eventually, the whole gang confronts Zariel herself, and it is actually Kreidel who saves the city by tricking Zariel into destroying the contract, dooming Elturel. Minsc isn't the hero here, but Kreidel, his good friend, is, and it is revealed at the end of the comic that Kreidel made a pact with Bel, another devil of Avernus and Zariel's rival. It's my hope that if Minsc appears in Baldur's Gate 3, then the deal that Kreidel made with Bel will be explored more, given that he's good friends with the hamster-wielding ranger. Well, now you're up to speed on what Minsc has been up to. He's not dead, and he's still as mad as ever. Whether you liked Minsc or not, Wizards of the Coast will stop at nothing to keep him around, and many of you will be hoping for his appearance in Baldur's Gate 3. Okay, thanks for watching guys. If you enjoyed this video, then do please give me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!